Bonjour and welcome to another edition of BunkaMania Wrestling live here on Twitch and also over on YouTube. I am the Dekker Dane and I'm joined by MattyBoo and Harriett. Say hello, everyone.
Hello.
Howdy.
Howdy. And we are going to be talking all things WWE Backlash France, which happened last night. And as I think we will get into as we have this episode, a really fun show. Despite the fact it was very predictable, it was still a very, very fun show. We're also going to be talking about, we're going to be looking back at how we did our draft predictions on our last live stream. We watched the draft picks like hawks, we did. And I think we did okay.
Yeah.
One of us did a spreadsheet.
With calculations. then there's the graphs and then the business proposals. And it's like, what are we doing a business for? I don't know. We just put all these picks into a basket and we're going to become successful entrepreneurs. Great. Just great. This is the content you thrive for. We're also going to be looking quickly at WrestleMania's announcement. It's going to Las Vegas next year, and we're just going to have a quick look ahead at the King and Queen of the Ring qualifiers. But yes, if you'd like to get involved, let us know your thoughts on Backlash. Just get into the comments, whether you're on Twitch or on YouTube. We will try and put a couple on screen as we go along. Right, so Backlash France. It's another trip abroad for WWE, and suffice to say, I think they're having a whale of a time going internationally at the moment. We've done Perth for Elimination Chamber. We've just had Backlash here in France. We've got Glasgow. No, we've got Saudi Arabia next for King and Queen of the Ring, part of the arrangement as always. Then Glasgow, and then later on in the summer, it's Berlin as well. It's just we're having a continental adventure with wrestling at the moment, aren't we?
They're stamping their passports. I'm sure.
They're putting the world in world entertainment, aren't they?
It adds a whole extra dimension of like prestige upon all of it, because even though a lot of these are like the B shows, there's just this whole enhancement of it's somewhere exotic, it's somewhere different. There's a whole different audience involved, and oh boy, did we get a whole new experience with the crowd last night.
Oh my God. They were on fire all the way through. I want their energy. I want it stored in a bottle. Because oh my God.
Oh, just imagine the French perfume aftershave ever is like RKO Crossroads.
I mean, somebody was going on about Cody Rhodes kissing the mat, saying, why would you do that? Has had 3 hours of people's sweat on it. And I went, that's probably how they bottle up bottles of Prime. However, if they can create some kind of energy drink made of the good vibes and the good vibrations made by the French crowd last night, I will have that. It'll instantly cure depression. It really will.
I mean, maybe Cody was thinking that just the outline of the Prime bottle would give him American Nightmare flavored Prime just for his match. I mean, they keep destroying the Prime display by the commentator's desk in every show anyway.
It's a running gag now, I think.
Running gag's like, oh look this Prime, quick, kick it down, kick it all down quickly before anyone notices the Prime bottles are there.
At least no one drank from it last night, so.
Well, Logan Paul wasn't on the show, so clearly, otherwise Logan Paul would have just been going, "Hey, Prime." Well, of course he'd be saying it's Prime because he has a stake in it anyway. But no, just bottle up the Backlash crowd and just go Simplement deux for you by WWE Fragrances.
Now, everybody, we had a live chat last night. UCP Discord. Very fun community. Go check it out. We ran a live chat last night, and all Ian would go on about was the number of times the crowd would bring up, it was only two. It became a running thing with Ian, and we still want to know if he's all right. Blink once for yes, or just tall. Or no.
Or just tall? Just tall? What does just tall mean? I'm at a loss there. But it's like I enjoyed the Simplement deux chants, but I just kind of got into it because basically, if you try to do that as an English chant, you just go, "That was just two. That was just two."
Oh yeah.
I please everybody across the world, no matter where you are, do this for me. Do this for Matty. Do that chant in French, no matter where you are in the world, because I know it will fuel Ian. It really will.
I didn't get angry at it. I was basically just occasionally in the chat, I would just say, and yes, Cody, that was just 2.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was
I know,
great.
I know you're not angry, but somehow I feel it sustains you.
It's like, and yes, that was a 2 count. Just in case no one. It's when the wrestlers that when they get that 2 count, they just kind of look really confused, like, "What do you mean it was just 2? I had him on the mat for 3 seconds." Like, no, that was just 2.
And you have the crowd reminding you as well.
And basically, you don't have VAR in this. You just basically have crowd assistant referee car. There you go.
To be fair, one of the referees during that show bloody needed it because they seemed to get confused to who the hell was legal in the women's tag match.
We will get on to that. We will get on to that in a bit. But yeah, away from the fantastic crowd reactions. First of all, general thoughts overall on the show as a whole. We'll start with Harriet.
I've really enjoyed it. It was fun. I think the crowd really helped with this as well. It kind of gave it a lot more life. I think it was the same last year with Backlash as well. The crowd really amped it up. I really enjoyed the matches. I don't think there was one that was bad. It was just more, one probably escalated more than the other. But I honestly, as a whole, very good. It went. I really enjoyed it, and then by the time it finished, it was like, "Oh, it's done. Oh, okay, fair enough." It was just kind of like that entertaining that you weren't the clock watching, thinking, "Right, okay, so when's the next match?" So I can quickly use the bathroom. But it was just like, no, actually, thoroughly enjoyed it throughout.
Absolutely. With me, I'll just say it was only filler now, but I do not care because that crowd just made it cool. Filler now, but I just do not care because it was bloody great. Actually, it was really good.
And that was the latest single from MattyBoo Twitch, Filler, which is now available on all good CD, LP, and vinyl.
Guaranteed to beat Taylor Swift.
Yes, I mean if Joe Henry can do it, so can you. Yes. Everyone clap there. Yes, we all do believe in Joe Henry here at BunkaMania Wrestling. Well done on the chart success. I think, it's like I said at the start of the show. It was a very predictable card. I think unless something drastic or shocking was about to happen in one of those title matches, everything just kind of seemed like a logical progression of where people's stories or title reigns and that were going. But no, I think usually there's nothing wrong with predictability. It's like looking at by the numbers films. You kind of being like bog standard action or bog standard romantic comedy, stuff like that. Yeah, go through the motions, but it's about how you go through those motions. If you make it entertaining and engaging, then the predictability is fine. It's like you don't really worry or get too angry about the predictability. You're having too much fun to even remotely care. It's kind of like, I wouldn't necessarily go too far to say like, oh, it's like just shut off your brain and enjoy. It's like, well, no, at least here with WWE right now, there's no big logic holes going on. That's the plus thing on that. Some movies can do that, though.
I shut off my brain and enjoyed Damian Priest. If that meant anything.
Oh, my.
A few of us did in the chat.
If people were in the live chat yesterday, if you know, you know.
And moving on. So we'll do match by match. So we'll go through the cards here and just kind of run through the show, give us our thoughts. We opened up with the tag match of Team RKO, that's Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, versus Bloodline 2.0, or the Wolfpack Bloodline, or basically the Bloodline that's definitely not being run by Roman Reigns at the moment, led by Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga, and pretty much held against his will, Paul Heyman at the moment. Someone please think of the Paul. Will someone please think of the Heyman? He's in trouble. Someone help him. This match starts off basically. First of all, it takes about 8 minutes or so for even the Bloodline to get in, because first the crowd are having too much fun with Kevin Owens, and then the crowd serenade Randy Orton with voices, which was just surreal in its own sense.
That was something else about the crowd. Some people just sort of blah, 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 and then do like the high beats to an entrance theme. Yeah. This crowd, if a song was over, they sang through the whole damn thing.
Word
that was
for
incredible.
Word. So yeah,
Very
so Randy Orton was definitely enjoying himself. Also did the slow of it. Everyone got to do the pose with him. It's like, come on, let's do the pose. Pose.
Yes.
Arms out, all that sort of stuff. And then the Bloodline arrive. And even before the bell rings, all hell breaks loose and it's another fight. And security come out and everything's going wrong. And you're just immediately thinking they're not going to throw this match out because they're just too violent. And then out strolls Nick Aldis in his big red suit, just going, no, let's do street fight. No rules, no disqualifications. Just let them have a fight. And off we go. For what I can easily describe as just carnage. It's
pure carnage.
Pure carnage. Pure carnage. We went into the crowd. We KO jumped off the barrier or the people barrier. Randy also tried, but he went, "No, I'll just climb down. I'll be safe, Randy Orton." Tables, chairs, commentator tables that refused to break as well. Oh, poor Solo and the RKO. That must have hurt a bit.
Poor Bianca and Jade later on in the show as well. Oh, for the same reason.
But yeah, a really, really fun, violent melee of just absolute carnage. And I think most of us had Bloodline down to kind of win, but it was just kind of like we're all kind of expecting Jacob Fatu, who has been reported to have signed to appear to be another member of the Bloodline. And then WWE completely blindside us with Tamalo. Tango.
Yeah.
Tamil Tango? Is it Tamil Tango? I can't. Is it
Tonga Loa?
Tonga Loa, thank you very much. Just does the old classic, I'll pull the ref out of the ring approach, and it's kind of like, well, it's Bloodline 101. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Did you see the fan footage from the other angle of that?
The underneath the ring.
Tonga Loa kind of like missed his cue by about a fraction, and so the referee instinctively twirled himself out of the ring so that he could then pull his leg.
Okay.
So Tonga Loa has superpowers. One of them is telekinesis.
Dangerous. But yes, Bloodline 2.0 grows with another member. So we've got the tag team. Is it GOD from New Japan now?
It's the Gorillas of Destiny.
Gorillas of Destiny.
Yeah.
So technically, Gorillas of Destiny are now part of Bloodline 2.0. And this faction is getting bigger, and it's. I have to admit, I'm more intrigued the weeks of this sort of rebel Bloodline faction goes on.
It seems like the dark side of the Bloodline, really. So it seems now that Roman's gone, it's just like Solo's having fun with this. It's just like, this is how I want it to be, because even we still don't know who the tribal chief is. Well, it hasn't really been established.
I surmised a theory before we hit record. I'm going to bring it up here. So if you know anything about the entire overextended branches of this sort of Bloodline family, a lot of people were talking about how Haku isn't actually a blood relative and stuff like that. Again, I will argue there is such a thing as blood brothermanship, and there's also a thing of once we accept you into the family, that is as strong a bond as biology ever is. So Haku's family are very much considered an extension of the Maivia family, because they basically, the Maivia family accepted Haku under their wing, and ergo that extends out to his family, not the Ananai family, the Maivia end of that family, which gives you some kind of an indication of where this could possibly be going. Having also said that, we were also looking up into contracts and how are they running out. I've always thought that Tonga Loa was still contracted to New Japan. We have now just found out that New Japan just simply didn't care. That his contract went off about the same time as Tama's, but they just didn't mention it, bring it up, or anything like that. They just dropped using him, and he was just on a per performance agreement or something. Hikuleo, who is the other brother of the three, he's the younger brother, so technically the Solo Sikoa of the Tongans, and also the tallest. He is a big boy. His contract runs out in June. The other thing, and this is quite a big thing, their cousin over in New Zealand is Bad Luck Fale. I don't know when his contract's up, but that would be a hell of a get the founding blinking father of Bullet Club, because it was him and Finn Balor.
My word.
So yeah, that sort of information about Tangaloa was from a Wrestling Observer Radio, by the way. Just to highlight that. So that was from one of their recent shows after Backlash. So yes, I mean, it's clearly setting up like Rock side of family versus Roman side of family, and that's going to be fun. And that's going to be fun. I think that's the fun I think we can all look forward to in that. I mean, I'm not sure about. I mean, I think maybe they'll still feud with Randy and KO for a little bit longer. I have a feeling it's going to continue to go on. I mean, unless you move one of them into like a Cody feud. If any of them, probably Randy's probably the one to do it. So, but then I think they've still got Logan Paul beef to squash as well. So
it sounds like they're trying to fold in the Logan Paul stuff with the Judgment Day stuff. So even though he's a SmackDown guy, here's the other thing we found out since we did our draft episode: Logan Paul is not affiliated with either brand, despite being SmackDown's United States champion, which means he can go wherever the hell he likes.
There you go.
Makes sense. But there were some brutal spots in this match. I think before Tonga appeared, where Kevin, is it a drive? I'm not sure. I'm sorry, my name's right. Yeah. But off the top rope onto those chairs. Oh my god, that was brutal.
we had a few of those. Oh,
I know, but that was the one that just made me scream. Ah!
It's like the moment KO's setting up those chairs, you go, well, someone's going through them. And usually it's Kev. It wasn't.
Kevin. I mean, he's been doing it since the PWG days, so I kind of felt that this was going to inevitably happen. We didn't know how much of Tama was going to go through it as well.
Think of his back. Oh, his back. His back showed the scars, all right. It was painful.
Yeah, the kendo stick as well, because he got a few welts from that. Announcer's table. Yeah, Tama really went through it this match. He really did. Welcome to WWE.
Trial by fire, indeed.
I did love Kevin for looked at the camera, saying, "Oh yeah, good spot here on the camera. Good, okay, cool." I'm like, yeah, KO approves the camera work, as we all do now. To be fair.
I think KO's having is having lots of fun, especially in the pre-show video. You've had him just going around France with Kayla
my god!
Local hero Kevin Owens, by the way, on account that he's French Canadian.
It's French, it counts.
It's like, where did you get the baguette from?
Where did you get the banana? Oh yeah, we got the banana from Cody Rhodes.
That's how their Universal title feud starts. It's basically over a stolen banana.
It's been started over less.
Indeed.
True.
Indeed, it has. So moving on. So next match on the card was Triple Threat for the Women's Championship. We had Bayley defending against Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. Originally, it should have been Bayley and Naomi, but week after week, things just seem to get interrupted by Tiffany. So we've just made a triple threat. And then I think the last time they tried to have an actual match about it, even Nia Jax, who's now been drafted to SmackDown, came along and just went, "Now I'm going to get involved." It's like, please don't. Not now. Stop. I just want a normal wrestling match for a championship. Is it so hard to ask?
This was a brilliant showcase for Tiffany Stratton. Although I did make a point of saying, can she not keep doing the Divas style, like flippy elbow thing? She must have done that like 5 times in that match.
Well, I think, if they obviously, she's been part of the USA gymnastics team, so clearly they're trying to obviously remind people of that bit as well. But
it does also remind me of the times where they used to just give that move to any blonde WWE diva that was on the roster. So it was like, it works and don't work for me in equal measure. But what I can say, there was a few times in that match where Tiffany both saved other people and herself. There was the brilliant time where she could have easily just landed on her head, and she pivoted brilliantly to then land on her feet and then did a little ha-ha. It's like, I saved myself from being crippled. Hey, everybody! This was a real showcase for her, and the fact that she had absolutely no part of the decision whatsoever protects her greatly. We are definitely looking at a future champion here.
I think what I like it.
Go.
You first, Eric. No,
okay, I was going to say I like the way she kind of interwove, like, because obviously Naomi and Bailey are friends, kind of changed, made it sure that, oh well, that actually she did it, and kind of turned them against each other briefly in the match, or kind of made them so they fought against each other, giving her an advantage as well. So that kind of shows how good of a heel she is, and very much one that you could put her pretty much in anything, I suppose, at the moment, and she could elevate it. So that shows a sign of a good superstar rising within the ranks. And she was great in this match. So that's what I was going to say. So
not to take away, of course, from Naomi and Bailey, who between themselves as well, like all three of those women, did an incredible match, which ultimately everybody knew was that the outcome was going to be Bailey was going to retain, but it was just such an entertaining match.
It was very full throttle as well. There never seemed to be like a proper slowdown. It was just kind of like you would have like sometimes Bailey would be taking the sort of like lead and kind of attacking, and then it'll be Naomi, and then it'll be Tiffany, and you get obviously the genius sort of near falls of just roll up reversals, just stopping reversals by just stomping on someone's chest. Hello, there was that Brew one in the corner where Tiffany broke it up by just jumping on Naomi. It's like, ow, that hurt.
Yeah,
that hurt a lot.
It's crazy that Naomi is the veteran in this triple threat. Absolutely crazy. Because she still feels fresh and new.
Yeah. Well, the TNA run's definitely reinvigorated her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Absolutely. So it ultimately comes down in the finale part of this match. It ultimately comes down to Tiffany gets an advantage to hit the world's prettiest moonsault again, as we've seen on previous shows of SmackDown when she's getting the advantage. But this time, Naomi and Bailey were both ready for her by just dodging completely and then delivering a 1D just out of nowhere. Just one dip. There we go. And then, just in the, again, more roll up galores. And then, Bailey just escapes with the title. So I kind of sometimes like when it's done right, I've just escaped with my title through the skin of my teeth is good. I like that sort of thing. So I wasn't too surprised by the sudden stop. So like I had a feeling it was either gonna be like Bailey hits a finisher or it's just a lucky roll up.
Yeah. I did like the little phew she did at the end.
Yes.
I liked the little bit of storytelling where Naomi was the one who basically initiated a hug from Bailey.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, bring it in, Bailey, bring it in. That was really cool. It's a nice little thing.
Yeah. Part of me, when anyone goes that, so I'll raise your hand or go for a hug. It's like, you're going to turn heel, aren't you? Oh, no, it's all fine.
We've never got that once.
We've been burned too many times.
Too many times. So yes, where we go to next? Next we go into World Heavyweight Championship battle between Damian Priest and main event Jey Uso, who had probably the best entrance of the whole evening.
Oh, it was amazing. I told you, that crowd was on fire.
I'm sorry, was there a match? I couldn't tell. I'm sorry. I was just looking into Damien's pretty eyes.
Should we just talk about this, Ian? Because I did actually pay attention.
Hi, everybody.
It's like, but that Damian Priest, he's so dreamy.
I mean,
it was. I will say this. Soph got into this sort of mentality. She said, "Do they have to just walk in wearing PVC? What's all this about?" And I'm like, and she just went on about it. And then he took the robe off and went, "Yeah, I can see what you're talking about now. He's a very pretty boy."
Oh, it's so funny.
Then she was converted. Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't think she was entirely converted because she could see my point of view.
Yes. It's hard to kind of segue into something from this. But in terms of entrances, I mean, Jay's was pretty damn impressive.
I was just sat here doing this, honestly.
It's like everyone does like the it's like it's just him who's day one and all that stuff. Just day one.
It's honestly, the opening theme, it's amazing how impactful it can bring out a crowd. And that was definitely one of the highlights of the night, definitely. I think he came in through the crowd as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he started out like in the middle of like the hard cam section and then kind of went down the alleyway, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, 11,000 French viewers are just kind of bouncing along with their lights, just going, yeah.
Oh, that poor hard cam.
Why is the building shaking? Stop it. You'll get more noise warnings.
More of that during AJ Styles' match.
Yeah.
And yes, Damien came. I mean, it's like Damien. I was disappointed Damien didn't come out as Damien Priest Skeletor. Because I like it when he came out. I like it when he came out when he's properly decked out like the near Skeletor gear. Because it's like, oh, that's badass. Now it's just like, here is a long leather trench coat. All right.
maybe SummerSlam. Maybe. Save it for the special occasions.
I mean, they're in France. It's a special occasion. He could have been the Skeletor.
The Skeletor.
Nah.
No. Oui.
You mean BunkaMania Last Man Standing Champion Skeletor?
Je m'appelle Skeletor.
Oh, God. No.
That was only 2.
Samplamento. And people looking at the live stream or listening on the audio going, what on earth is going on here? We're trying to talk about a match. Right, so this one was kind of like a very slow starter. I mean, it was, I think out of the match on the card, this is one that's I probably wouldn't say was the most memorable, but it kind of it started out slow, and when you start getting to the final stretch of just simply doing super kick after punching, and then even Damien Priest doing his own style of a super kick, which was more like a roundhouse kick half the time, and just it didn't become like big power moves. It was just basically, I'm just going to hit you very, very hard. Now and then you're going to hit me very, very hard.
Yeah,
and it got. I think it only when he picked up around that time, and then the Judgment Day interferences, which is kind of like, of course, it's going to happen.
This match was really more about teasing more dissension between Damien Priest and the rest of Judgment Day.
While also showing Jay as a highlight, really, to be fair, how good he is. Because he was really good in this match.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sorry, no,
go on.
No, I was just saying the crowd are always behind Jay. So it's just like, you want a crowd to get behind a babyface. Jay, it definitely works with Jay.
Some people have started to sour a little bit on Jey Uso, and I can see why, because he is becoming more about the yeet than like anything that he actually does in the ring. I do feel that there's a little bit of not a repackage, but more of a refresh with him in the horizon, because I genuinely think he's one of the biggest talents out there, and you need to utilize him. But don't just make yeet his entire thing. That's my only criticism. Other than that, fantastic showing from him.
I mean, there has to be a reason why he is, when overall in the draft, he is the first pick for Raw.
Yeah,
it's like that doesn't just happen because it's just by accident. No, there's a reason they've probably done that for Jay.
Also, visibly and audibly endorsed by Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
Yeah. Indeed. But yes, we had Judgment Day interferences. First, we had poor man's Finn Balor, JD Madonna turn up.
Or as Michael Cole said, that Klingon looking...
Wait, God.
What?
I mean, if it gets JD a voice role, I guess, on Lower Decks or Brave New World, why not?
I mean, I disagree. He's more of a Romulan bumpy forehead than a Klingon bumpy forehead. But hi, Cliff, we're talking Star Trek.
Yeah, so there was that. Damon got a bit annoyed. Then real Finn Balor turned up. Damon still got a little bit annoyed. And then eventually winning with super South of Heaven off like the top rope. After, again, a little bit of interference from JD. He was awfully quite annoyed when JD and Finn were beating him up after the match. Poor Jay. And he went, no, that's not what Le Champion wants. El Champion, not El Champion. No, that's
that was on another promotion.
That's
Dane.
someone from that. No, so it's the El Champion. He's El Campion. There we go. That's it.
He's
that's
now Le Lenin Tree.
Oh joy! Hear how I am all in on that sarcasm. is strong.
Moving on.
It was an okay match. It was
an okay match. I think Matty hit the nail on the head. It's about teasing more of the dissension. I think.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, the dissension might cost Damien his belt at some point, probably in Glasgow. Against the very game Drew McIntyre, and then you got your SummerSlam feud set up with him and Punk. So,
that's true. That is true. He gains back the title he only had for like 5 minutes. Thanks to Punk.
Holds it for a little bit longer and then loses it.
Wouldn't be
10
funny.
minutes.
Wouldn't it be funny, right, that he gets that title and loses it again, or something like that, or shenanigans that prevents him from winning because of Punk?
Oh no!
What if? Because after Clash at the Castle, I think it is Money in the Bank. So what if, say, Punk was to win Money in the Bank again?
Oh, comes out every time Drew finishes a match. She's just like,
It's like Drew. I mean, what if they made Drew McIntyre the most unluckiest person to Money in the Bank? Because then that means he's lost the title 3 times to that.
Oh my god!
Miz, Priest, and then Punk.
Happy re-signing, Drew.
I think he's having a whale of a time with it.
No, he's having it. Honestly, this is the best. The whole thing with Raw was very good as well. Signed photo afterwards. He was caught on camera afterwards with the signed photo, like tucked in his kilt, which is great. And everyone was saying, "Oh, he is a CM Punk fan."
I would have gone down a whole different route. I'm not going to say here. I am not going to say here. Not, you know my humor. I'm not going to say it here.
That's for an uncut podcast. No, there's no uncut podcast. By the way,
no.
I mean, we're doing it live already, so
yeah.
So we move on to penultimate match of the night, which is women's tag team match, which initially I think most of us were kind of bracing for a squash.
Yeah,
Really
even
much.
I was thinking it's not going to last long, especially what happened on SmackDown the night before.
No, I think they had I think it was about 15, nearly 20-minute match.
Yeah, it went on for a lot longer than what I thought it would, and there were a couple of dips.
Yeah,
as stated earlier.
So we have Bianca and Jade Cargill going up against Kabuki Warriors, and Kabuki Warriors are off to Raw with those belts. So technically, if they lost them, they weren't going to be aggravating Bianca anymore on SmackDown. Yes.
Most of the tag teams have been drafted to Raw.
Oopsie.
How's that gonna work?
Oh dear.
Uh-oh, spaghetti.
Just wonder if they did this draft a bit oopsie daisy.
It's like wait a minute. This draft doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh no.
No.
They're not going to implement a bloody wild card rule just for the tag team.
Well,
women,
no. If they got the tag team belts, then technically they should be able to go between Raw and SmackDown. So
because it wasn't part of the draft.
That's the understand.
Yeah.
But no,
of course they're going to do that.
But no, I think this match in particular, I think despite some of the rough spots and some of the communication issues, I still think this is a pretty fun. I think this is still a pretty decent match. The fact that it kind of got into like it felt more like a drawn out fight towards the end. It felt cool. It felt okay. Because sometimes when it's completely doesn't make any sense and it's all broken down, then it's not really fun to watch. But there's still elements of things to watch in this one.
Yeah, there was definitely lots of spots. I mean, poor Kyrie was just used as a ragdoll pretty much throughout most of that match, especially the last move. I'm just like, oh boy, this woman is dead.
It's like, Kyrie, your role in this match is to just pretend you're hurt a lot. Repeatedly.
Yes,
Oh,
Stitch
my
said
gosh.
she loved the makeup on the Kabuki Warriors.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Kyrie's makeup is just beautiful. I know I know this sounds weird. I've seen a lot of that in like a few animes, and one of them has gone completely out of my mind. But it was beautiful. Also, I love every time when their opponents come out, they just dance along to the music. It's just brilliant. It's just like, oh, not very heelish. I don't know if they're mocking it, but I don't know if they're having a good time either. But either way, it's great.
It's like, I don't like this person, but God damn
Also,
it, they have a pop. Oh, it's like that clip of the New Day, just sort of properly hip jiving to Seth Rollins' first theme of da 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 da. He is the CrossFit Jesus. Da, 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 da.
CrossFit Jesus is AJ Styles, surely.
No.
When it comes to AJ Styles, when it comes to AJ Styles now, I'll just put like a descriptive and Jesus on the end of it now.
Phenomenal Jesus. There we go. But no. This match ultimately ended up with Bianca and Jade winning the tag team belts. A really fun, like, final moment for Jade as well. Just literally kind of going, I've grabbed Hikari, saying, I'm going to throw you on my shoulders, I'm going to throw you over my back, and then I'm going to throw you on my front to do what Jade did. It's like, well, the timing was very good on that.
Not unlike the time that Kota Ibushi wrestled a doll. I'm not going to put a descriptive on the end of that doll, but he did wrestle a doll. Yes, because the doll physics. Yes.
Yes.
Doll.
Yes.
Doll.
Anyway, Paul Kyrie.
Overall thoughts on the matches on this match.
I actually enjoyed it. It was one of my favorite matches of the night, I think, personally. That and the street fight. The blip in the middle I can easily bypass, but I was really happy it lasted the way as long as it did, because like I said, I thought it was just going to be a squash match, get it ready for the main event. But I had a feeling they were going to win anyway, so I'm kind of glad it was this way. And then hopefully now, because the women's tag division has kind of been very up and down, and it's kind of, I think even you said, Matty, in the chat last night, how some titles hold people back. So maybe the Kabuki Warriors can kind of come into their own sort of thing. But also it might help Jade and Bianca with this, because, oh my God, they are honestly powerhouses. And it's just like, this is really, really good.
I think it was actually you that brought up the fact that the titles were holding them back, and I agreed.
Was it?
I remember me. It was me that was agreeing, but it wasn't me that initially said.
Okay, well, it was brought up anyway, but it was just kind of either way. It's either or. But I think this will elevate the titles in a way. But I'm just now wondering, okay, so what's going to happen going forward now? Because, like you said, most of the tag division for the women's are on Raw, unless you have Chelsea Green and Piper Niven as the first opponents.
The women's tag championships will be as prominent so long as the WWE make them prominent and not just an afterthought, which unfortunately is something they've been doing for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a controversial take. I think the team that deserved them the most was the Iconics. Because they were a tag team long before women's tag team division even existed. So I loved it when they won it. But I think the highest peak that those titles were when they were first introduced, and it was Bayley and Mercedes Moné. So
that's initially who they were made for, pretty much, weren't they?
They rallied to have them. There was very much a Sasha and Bayley like creation, more or less.
Yeah. But in the end, it was a very good match. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to their reign as the new tag champions.
I think it's a good way to kind of still keep Jade kind of developing in the WWE system. We're just trying to get them all used to it, because apparently she's been doing house shows, she's been doing tele matches, stuff like that. So it's kind of a lot more than probably what she has done previously in AEW in terms of the work rate per se. But no, I think having this reign and teaming up with Bianca is probably a good thing in the long run for her, because I think that will hopefully help with the in-ring skills and all that sort of stuff. So I have a feeling this is leading towards a Bianca and Jade match.
Oh yeah, there is going to be a split
at some point, and that might be a Mania next year, I think.
I'd love it for it to be a trilogy where the first match is them against one another in a friendly contest, and then it literally goes up each time. Yeah. So because those two together are incredible, those two fighting together are going to be pretty cool. I still want there to be like an Avengers team of women, like really strong women, where apart they're incredible, but when they're together, they're absolutely phenomenal. And the image we had at WrestleMania of Jade, Bianca, and Naomi together on that podium, it was just striking. So I hope if they do become enemies, they don't become enemies for too long. Because I feel as much as we talk about the 4 horsewomen of wrestling all this time, right there is the next generation in these 3. Hopefully 4, maybe more women coming into prominence. I'm here for it.
I mean, you got Survivor Series. That could be the next thing.
Yeah, there'll be War Games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would you have as a 4th and a 5th? That's the thing.
Oh.
Well, if you're doing a powerhouse team, in that sense, you kind of have to look at people like Charlotte, Rhea, and Raquel, because they are there, because they and even Nia, in that sense, because they are more powerhouses than I would say like strikers or high flyers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Dare I say it, Tiffany Stratton as well.
True.
Yeah.
True. I kind of think Tiffany's more like an all-rounder technician and striker.
For each superhero team, you always have that big old tweener who's a bit of a bad boy, bad girl. And I think you could have a Tiffany in that as well. Because you've got someone who's built and has the moveset and can be the person that's like, you're all a bunch of jerks. You don't see my point of view. Like a Wolverine, you know? Or I'm trying to get a really niche reference here. I think Black Condor from Jetman. Because he was never a nice guy. He was always a bit of an arsehole amongst the rest of the team. Which is instead, it's also based on Gatchaman, where I can't remember his name, Jet. I forget. But anyway, there is a member of the team who is like that arsehole. You could have that arsehole in that team.
Yeah.
We shall see. Let's move on to main event, which is Cody Rhodes defending the undisputed WWE Championship against the phenomenal AJ Styles, or Phenomenal Jesus, as he's now known as. Well, I do. For me, he's Phenomenal Jesus.
Oh, the crowd. Oh, that song was just stuck in my head.
Yeah, was it just basically saying how phenomenal he is, and then just going da 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 da? He's phenomenal.
I said this in the chat yesterday. Look, if people don't like the song, it's easy. What you do is what I used to do during New Japan matches. Whenever they swapped out the music, you get your Spotify and play whatever song you want to the entrance. So just get AJ Styles' old moody version of his TNA theme. It fits. Just play that.
Let's see if I can pronounce my French of this. That is Il est vraiment phenomenal. That's what it's called. Because it has the word phenomenal in it. So basically, they sing that. So
but basically they're just singing, yes, he is phenomenal. Da 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 phenomenal. That's basically what it was. Phenomenal.
It was pretty much a football chant, but in the wrestling aspect.
Which when AJ's supposed to be kind of like the heel in this match, is very bizarre.
It's weird. It is weird.
Especially when the match starts and basically Cody does something and everyone cheers and AJ does something and everyone then goes into phenomenal.
Oh my god, this crowd, that with the 2 chant and then that with the phenomenal. Oh my god, they saved their energy till the end. Phenomenal.
That was simply just the phenomenal 2 there.
I'm on the chat, which has now been hijacked by one Fel Flownay. And they have suggested if you want that arsehole on the team, make it Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah. I mean, he'll have a machine gun.
And I've been told not to look at the chat anymore now because it's getting stupid. Well, half stupid because Sophie's on pills. There we go. She's now pill stupid. But yeah. Again, just to remind you guys that if you're watching, there are 2 places you can go. You can go on Twitch. There is also YouTube. Get involved. Go and state your case on the chat. or just tell us about what arsehole you would fit into your superhero team.
But let's talk about this match.
Yes.
Matty, what do you think of this match?
It shouldn't have been the main event. I think the women should have been the main event. However, I reckon it's great that the caliber of a Cody Rhodes and an AJ Styles made it entertaining regardless and still sent us out happy. We all knew what the outcome was going to be. It's nice that yet again AJ Styles managed to make it around the world, or in his case, across the world. And yeah, I didn't mind it. It did what it did. Again, I will say it's only filler now, but we enjoyed ourselves regardless. And I yet again forgot what the punchline of that song was going to be. But yeah, I loved it.
Cool.
Really
Harriet?
did love it.
Yeah, I think it started off a bit slow, but I think it was just more getting their technical side across, obviously showcasing what they can do, and then it really kicked off, and it was just like, okay, now this is a match. I'm digging this now. I think AJ, the age he is, my God, he is still incredible in the ring, and I think with Cody, it worked well together. You could tell that they both enjoyed that match. Yeah, the crowd was kind of like like, okay, I know AJ's a heel, but and yeah, it was very good. I, like Matty said, I don't think this should have been the main event. I think this could have been pushed in anywhere, but obviously because Cody is the biggest thing in wrestling at the moment, they had to make it a main event because obviously help elevate that. Yes, it was predictable in regards to who was going to win, but that doesn't mean to say it was not a good match. It was still very well done, and I was very happy with the outcome, how it went throughout. And I mean, I don't know what's going to happen going forward, but you know, I thought it was great, and yeah. Crowd left happy. I was happy. Everyone's happy.
The most pressing thing we need to ask you, Harriet, is in the chat by one Felflaunay, who asks you, "Hey Harriet, what condiment should we cover AJ Styles in? Asking for a friend. It's you. You are the friend."
I don't know.
I mean, I swear he gives off like a bluegrass barbecue sauce, maybe. I don't know.
My God. Yeah, H3
It's
brown
France.
sauce. I don't know.
It's France. Just smother him in escargot.
Oh God, yeah. What is the sauce for France? I don't know. I know cheese is a thing.
Isn't it like jus? It's like in a French, like if you're doing like a jus of like stream of sauce, it's like
yeah, like a gravy sort of thing.
When me and Stitch stayed in France for a week, by the way, we got engaged in France. That's a whole different story. I'm not going to go into it because this is a very short podcast. Too late. But I once ate a burger, and I had no idea that the burger was smothered in snail.
Oh,
and I loved it. And I'm not going to eat it again because I don't like being tricked in that way. But it was a special kind of cheese, and the ingredient for the cheese was snail.
Let's do a side tangent. Has anyone seen that new McDonald's advert where someone's just singing when he's
I love it so much.
I am terrified of that advert. I just want to do it. I want to do a version where he's doing that, and you just cut to me on the other side of the restaurant with the burger going, no. For the benefit of the audio listeners, I'm just looking at my burger in kind of worry. It's like, no, I don't know if this person's having a bit of a breakdown or just maybe a stroke. I'm going to put the burger down.
I love that advert so much. It makes me happy.
I need to see it after this now.
Oh,
Filoni has volunteered to help make that version with me. Anyway, this match. This match again, so kind of slow start off with, but then it really got into the big power moves towards the end. There are little moments in the match I like where what was it? Cody did his little Stardust thing.
Yeah.
Did the sort of bit of that, and then you cut to AJ Styles just going, "You motherfucker." He's literally mouthing the word motherfucker before he attacks him again.
I try and avoid swearing on this show. I really do. And then Ian just busts out an F-bomb. So
I mean, we're 50 minutes in. It's fine.
Well, fuck it.
I'll be good.
I mean, then even AJ, they destroyed the French announce table with AJ, and it's just like, and then they took out the prime bottles again. It's like, why would you do this?
I love the fact that the main announce table was the one that could not be obliterated, and then the French announce table. Well, okay, well that's what we think. It's always the running gag, isn't it? It's like it's always the foreign announce table that's always destroyed.
It's like going, oh, sacre bleu, the table, it has been destroyed yet again. I don't like this job.
I kept saying it's so weird that the French announce team are in the Spanish announce table. And it's like,
but for most shows, unless it's international, there's only one table there now.
Yes.
It is mostly one table. I mean, when they go to, they won't have another table for when they go to Glasgow, unless they have Scottish commentators.
Just this once, Gaelic announce team. I'm there for it.
Ach, no. I'm not doing any more Scottish because I know that's going to annoy some of my friends.
A table, and it's only got Billy Connolly on it.
Oh my god!
Yes, I can't unsee that now.
Oh my god! I know my dad would definitely watch that then.
And there's definitely going to be the German announce team when it gets to Berlin.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
And
to Liebe, the German announce table is gone again.
Oh god, that is going to happen. It's just a running thing.
I liked the Cody and AJ match. I think they play a little bit with the shoulder injury a bit because obviously there was the thing about he might have been injured after his Carmelo Hayes thing, but they kind of played on that a little bit, which is quite good from a narrative story point perspective. The super Cody Cutter didn't completely all hit, but it still looked pretty impressive. Yeah. It's just eventually AJ kind of walked into it. Oh wait, I've got to go down. And that's all right. And only one major finisher put AJ away. And it's quite interesting that there were no other major finishers kind of used. It usually was just a disaster kick or just like the Cody Cutter. One Crossroads put AJ away, where it took nearly 20 of them to put Roman away at WrestleMania.
I think Cody is pretty much banged up, but I think he's just fighting through it. It was obvious during his match with Carmelo Hayes as well, which is a sad thing to say, but if they could somehow protect him during these matches, then all the better.
Yeah, because obviously with the next one's King of the Ring.
Queen of the Ring in about 3 weeks.
So I doubt there'll be a title match on there. So probably not for him.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he'll have a good break between now and then.
Well, he might still appear in some capacity.
Oh yeah.
You don't do the big show. I mean, if all these shows internationally are big ones now, you kind of can't really not have, unless there's a contract saying he doesn't have to go. Cody's going.
Oh yeah, even if he just shows and shakes the person's hand, whoever wins the King of the Ring, sort of thing.
Yeah,
as a sign of respect.
Yeah, possibly.
Speaking of that, is anyone else getting huge New Japan Cup vibes off of King of the Ring at the moment? Because I am. You see the quality of talent that facing off amongst each other. Holy cow! This is going to be incredible.
Yes,
this is the first King of the Ring that's purely under the Paul Levesque era.
Yes,
and you can tell.
And Paul Levesque does love a good King of the Ring.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, I get the impression he wants that.
I think he likes a good tournament because Cruiserweight Classic and the Mae Young. Is it Mae Young Classic? Both of those were great little tournaments.
So we'll move on. We'll move over to King of the Ring chat now. But yeah, I think bottom line from all of us: Backlash, good show. Yeah. Yes, it's fuller, but it was still fairly entertaining nonetheless. I think kind of watch it for the atmosphere and kind of like that. It's a very special atmosphere for that one. So it was fun.
Special atmosphere at a great time that we're all completely lucid for as well, which is always a good thing. So it enhanced our experience of it. So that's all good.
And up your game for the crowd, because I know I saw a lot of posts, people saying, and we're going to go back to the American crowd just chanting, what? And I'm like, true.
Sadly, yes.
Give everyone a Red Bull. There you go.
Yeah.
No, don't encourage them. Don't encourage them with Red Bull. They'll just go what 20 times, and it'll be even more annoying.
Definitely UK need to up their game.
I'm starting to think that in the chat on Twitch, we should just give a podcast to Felf and my wife, because they are dominating it right now.
But that's good.
It is good. It's really good. It's also very distracting, so I'm now going to ignore the pair of them.
So we have King and Queen of the Ring matches starting on Raw. I'm not sure how the tournament's over being done. It's like, are they doing like a Raw side and a SmackDown side, and then the finalists meet in the middle?
That would be cool.
Because I think that would kind of then make it a big deal, because then if you go, because I think the show, if you had at least like the semi-finals and the final on the show, that would probably make sense. I think that would make it a lot more fun.
When is King of the Ring again?
It's in 3 weeks' time.
Sorry. 3 weeks?
Bank holiday May weekend.
Jesus.
You've got King and Queen of the Ring on the Saturday, Double or Nothing on the Sunday, and a Monday to recover on the Monday.
And it's at a time that we can watch it again. Holy Christ!
Yes.
And then it's Clash of the Castle at 6-7 p.m. What a time to be a wrestling fan.
It was so nice
in the UK.
It was so nice to watch the I think it was like 9 o'clock it wrapped up, and it was just like, oh, I can actually go downstairs and do what I need to do for the rest of the night. Wow.
Yes. Yes. Or as 98 Kareb has said, woo, too much wrestling content. You can't have enough wrestling content. You just can't all watch it all at once, because that would be mad.
Yeah.
So King and Queen of the Ring. So first matches start on Raw on Monday. So we start with the King side. So we have Drew McIntyre versus Finn Balor. That should be fun. We've got Kofi versus Rey Mysterio. And then we've got two really kind of eye-opener matches that I'm looking forward to. Ricochet versus NXT caller Ilya Dragunov. Oh, that's going to be good if they give it time. But the nice thing as well is that kind of gives you an idea of how basically they're going to give some good time to these matches. Hopefully.
Yes.
And then the last one, which is like number 3, I think this is the trilogy continuing again. I'm not sure. It might be 3, it might be 4. Gunther versus Sheamus. Oh, that's going to be good as well.
That is going to be very good. Oh,
yes.
We're going to be treated well tomorrow.
We will. Queen of the Ring. We start off with Zoe Stark versus Ivy Nile. We've got Shayna versus the former Queen of the Ring, Zelina Vega. NXT call-up Lyra Valkyria will take on Asuka, and Io Sky will take on Natalya.
Well, Selena's definitely not going to be new Queen of the Ring.
You never know.
You never know. But I think Shayna's probably going to decimate her.
You never know. It's like, because I think when we had like Zelina versus, I think it was Dewdrop or Piper Niven in the last final, it was kind of like, this is like, usually strength would probably outmatch this, but then ultimately, but then Zelina won. So it's kind of like, I don't necessarily know who would probably end up being Queen of the Ring.
No, I mean, because now you have a lot of stars who have risen up from NXT now as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully give them their flowers and give them a chance.
Yeah, I would be shocked if Lyra Valkyria lost to Asuka. I think I think that will make that's pretty much making a statement for Lyra to beat Asuka in Queen of the Ring. I think that would be good. Definitely. So the King of the Ring, I can't see anyone else other than Gunther. It's got to be Gunther.
It has to be, because I mean he wouldn't have dropped the IC title if it hadn't been.
They also made a big thing during the draft episode of Raw of him like symbolically taking the crown off of Xavier Woods and plonking it on his own head.
Yeah.
Literally destroying Xavier.
I would.
That's not a statement.
Yeah. I need to see if they actually ever released if they're going to do like a full how many people are actually in this tournament.
It'll be absolutely interesting if there's actually any kind of impact on being King of the Ring this time, other than give him a crown, because I don't think that's going to happen under Paul Levesque. I think there may actually be consequences of becoming a king and a queen this time,
I think
which
it'll
would
just
be
be
great.
championship. It'll be probably
Yeah.
championship shots.
Yeah, of their choice too.
Mm.
I think it should be like Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll try and dig into that, because it's like I'm quite curious how the tournament's really being kind of put together this year.
I think you might be right. I think there might be a bracket that's purely Raw, and then there's another one that's purely SmackDown, and then they meet in the middle. I think that's the best way of doing it.
I think we'll definitely find out as the weeks go on. Maybe tomorrow on Raw. I don't know.
Yeah,
or
they
maybe...
might match. They might announce the bracket matches for SmackDown. So yeah, maybe. So yeah, so you got 4 there, go down to 2, then you got 3 weeks. So maybe you do your first round and your second round. Then by the time you get to King of the Ring, you've got the finalists from Raw and the finalists from SmackDown. If you're calling your pay-per-view or premium live event King and Queen of the Ring, it should be more than just, oh, we just got a match on. I think ultimately you should have semi-finals and the final.
Yeah.
Okay. Via the chat, there's a couple of updates about that. Shawn Michael Dunn said, did they say during the pay-per-view that the winner gets a shot at a world title? And Burke said, King of the Ring should get a world title shot at SummerSlam, which the last time that was even a thing was when Brock Lesnar won it at King of the Ring 2002. And I happen to agree with that. That should be the way to go, because they're now treating SummerSlam as like the second biggest event of the wrestling calendar.
True.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with that. So, yeah.
Okay. We will see how that pans out. Let us, speaking of call-ups, let us see how we formally did at the draft. because we tried, and I think we did all right.
You did good. Very proud of what we.
Now it's time for the business presentation from Matty.
Oh God, I haven't even got the spreadsheet up.
I'm going to make it even more important. I'm going to put you full screen, Matty.
Oh no! Okay, give me 2 seconds. I've got to do the admin.
Manny, I've got a question. How much profit will I get after this draft?
Right, bear with me. Right, so let's go through it, shall we?
I've got another question. Can I invest afterwards?
I have a question.
No, you start.
Is it just 2?
Right.
Sorry.
So here's how we broke it down. Here's how we broke it down. Right. So if we got a point if we got a draft prediction right. We also got a point if we actually called an NXT call up, regardless of where they landed. We called a call up. So draft pick number 1 by Bianca Belair, whose current brand was SmackDown. She stayed on SmackDown. There's a theme here. We predicted SmackDown. There we go. We got a point. 2 was Jey Uso. We all figured Raw, and so did they. He stayed on Raw. Our first successful prediction here. Carmelo Hayes technically was already on SmackDown, but they decided to retcon that and say he got called up from NXT.
Why not?
We predicted that he was on SmackDown. We got a point. We also got a bonus point because of retcon history. So we effectively got 2 points there.
Woo.
The last round, Seth Rollins. We all thought he was going to SmackDown. He did not. He stayed on Raw. Moving on. 5, Randy Orton. We all thought SmackDown. WWE agreed. He stayed on SmackDown. Bron Breakker. We always thought because he was entering the storyline, just got given an exclusive contract. We all thought he would stay on SmackDown. Got drafted to Raw, the real actual first move of the a significant move of the draft. Then there was Nia Jax, who we thought was going to stay on Raw. She did not. She got moved to SmackDown. Liv Morgan stayed on Raw. We agreed. WWE did exactly that. So many people just staying where they are, and yet they were making such a huge thing of saying, my God, they're being drafted to exactly where they were before.
Wouldn't you be shocked if you got drafted at the same place that you were before?
Oh my god.
Wade Barrett definitely was.
Oh God, I'm staying where I am.
I think we were kind of hoping the next draft here was going to move to Raw and make a significant commitment there. No. LA Knight, stayed on SmackDown.
Yep.
We predicted Raw. We get none of that. Ricochet, we thought was also going to stay. No, he got drafted to SmackDown. We thought that the Bloodline was going to get moved the hell away from Cody Rhodes.
There was a storyline element on the first night where they were saying, "Oh, why have the Bloodline not been drafted yet?" And I thought we were building to a story of maybe neither of the brands want to take the Bloodline at the moment because of how violent things are getting. And then all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, they've been drafted to SmackDown."
That was ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
Don't do that promo. If the next thing when they come out, it's like, "Well, we've got our pick, and the Bloodline are staying on SmackDown." It's like, no, don't taunt me like that, Nick.
Also, the first round of people should listen to Matty. Matty can be right sometimes. They decided to make Roman Reigns technically a free agent.
Well, no.
Technically,
he withdrew himself, and then
and they retconned that to say actually it was Paul Heyman that did that.
It's like a light.
So he is now separate from the Bloodline. He's technically a free agent, but let's go with the assumption he's staying on SmackDown because he wasn't actually eligible for a draft pick. Ergo, he stayed on the brand that he was on. But technically, we could fudge it and say that's free agency.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just put on smug mode. Okay, so Sheamus stayed on Raw. AJ Styles stayed on SmackDown. I'm just going to go blasting through this now. Alpha Academy. We thought that Chad was going to get separated out from them. No, they got drafted as one unit. Chad Gable, Otis Cesaro, and Maxine Dupree stayed on Raw. We were absolutely right for that. I thought Andrade, his current brand was SmackDown, but I was told he was Raw.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because he stayed on Raw anyway. And then the first actual thing where we were totally blindsided. I've put on here unpredicted. Kiana James was called up from NXT. We don't get any points for that because simply we didn't even discuss it. She wasn't even in the pool. So Kiana James got called up from NXT to Raw. Then we got as a tag team. We didn't have them in our list. They were not in the graphic. Cedric Alexander and Ashante the Adonis was drafted to SmackDown. I didn't even know they were still on SmackDown, but apparently they were. Then we managed to successfully predict that Alba Fire and... Oh, no, actually, am I wrong here? No, I'm wrong. Sorry. So we unsuccessfully predicted that Alba Fire and Isla Dawn was going to get drafted to Raw. They stayed on SmackDown. I might be wrong on that one. Baron Corbin, we thought was going to go wherever Bron Breakker was going. He did not. He got called up from NXT to SmackDown.
We still got it right because he went back to SmackDown.
Yes.
He went to SmackDown, and we did get a point for that and a bonus point because it counts as a call-up. So we got 2 points for that. Speaking of call-ups, we predicted a cool-down where we thought that either the Viking was going to go to NXT. No, he got drafted to Raw, where he already was. Then we had a bit of head-scratchy, where the OC, who was still called the OC, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Michin Mia Yim, we also thought that they were going to NXT. Nope, they are going to SmackDown. Technically, they already were. Then, this was weird because everyone else got to stay in a tag team, but we had Shayna and Zoe Stark. Separate picks, both staying on Raw. Now, all of this was on the supplemental draft that happened on social media after the fact. I will state that. So they both stayed on Raw. We thought they were going to SmackDown. And to be fair, I think they were better being on SmackDown. I think we needed more people of that caliber brought over to SmackDown, quite frankly. That was it. That was both the SmackDown and the supplemental results. Then we move over to Raw, which I think boosted our chances significantly because there were actual moves in this one.
Yay!
Right, I wish I had a drink of water now. So we thought that Imperium were going to get split up. They did not. So Imperium, now known as Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser, we thought they were going to SmackDown. They stayed on Raw. Jade Cargill, we successfully predicted was going to stay on SmackDown. Now things get a little bit screwy. I've assigned this as a half a point. So we thought Damage Control, they were donezo. They're not. They all, as a foursome of Io Sky, Dakota Kai, Kairi Sane, and Asuka, all got drafted to Raw. We thought they were going to get split up and put on two brands. So I thought, technically, since the majority of them were going to land on Raw anyway, I put that down as half a point. Kevin Owens, for some reason, I did not assign a draft. I think we successfully decided that he was on SmackDown.
Yeah,
because I put a point on that, but for some reason it's not in my spreadsheet. So there's a point for that. Now, Dane, remember when we had an argument whether CM Punk should have been put on our list and put on the brackets?
Yes. And we put him in Raw.
And we did, after I absolutely emphatically said that we should, and you said that we shouldn't because he wasn't on the graphic nor the drafting pool. He was put in the drafting pool after the fact, and they assigned him to Raw. Vindication! I was right, and I got a
point. That's mean we got points.
Yes!
We're doing this as a team, by the way. It's not like we're our separate draft.
I like being smug about my decisions.
I will step when get to the end of that, and I will want to bring up a point in a minute. But yeah,
bring up your point. I'm done.
No, I was going to say, I love the fact that Punk was called before.
Drew. They made that a thing.
That's what I loved. You know,
not even in this round of picks either.
No.
Finally acknowledged as the Pride on TV. Bobby Lashley, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, and B-Fab stay on SmackDown. We got a point for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Braun Strowman, who nobody predicted,
popped back and said, hello. Choo choo. Choo choo kaboo.
In a move that hit me like sideways so much, I couldn't even remember which brand he was on to begin with.
It's literally Braun just kind of side checking you into the stairs.
Yeah. So we had nothing for that. So he goes, unpredicted.
No points.
I got I did not know nor care where he came from. He just appeared. He got drafted to Raw. Tiffany Stratton, who successfully predicted was going to stay on SmackDown. Now, there's a bit of indication here. The LWO, you were absolutely right, Dane. They're keeping them away from Legado del Fantasma because we got the LWO. Interestingly, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Cruz, Joaquin, Zelina Vega, and Carlito, who's technically still a member, got drafted to Raw and immediately started picking on Dirty Dom. And then Legado del Fantasma, Escobar, Angel, Berto, and Elektra Lopez stayed on SmackDown. We've got a point for both of those.
So, it's just they had that chat with Carlito on Raw. So why did you attack him? It's like, well, I just attacked him because it wasn't cool. It's like, all right, fine. And yet you're still part of the group. It was like when Santos went, I have the footage. And they look at Carlito and they just go, why Carlito? Why? And Carlito's like, that's not me. That's not me.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, it is me.
That's not cool. Right. So moving on. Finally, we successfully predicted that Drew McIntyre was staying on Raw, which is really where he should be right now. Mm-hmm. And then finally, Shinsuke Nakamura, who I absolutely forgot was still in the company, stayed on Raw. And we thought it was moving to SmackDown because
no. We have him on our. I've got the graphic.
No.
He's staying on Raw.
He's staying on Raw.
Or did he go to SmackDown?
Hang on. I'm just going to look at the brackets. We thought he was drafted to. Right.
I think he was drafted to SmackDown, but
I think he was drafted to SmackDown. Doesn't matter. It's fine. Hopefully they'll use him somewhere.
He'll just get angry again, and just knee people in the face.
I remember when Shinsuke Nakamura was an amazing IWGP Bleeding Intercontinental Champion.
But he did not have turnt violinists bobbing with him at TakeOver.
He did in Noah. He did in his one match in Noah last year. Right, so Judgment Day, Dirty Dom, Finn Balor, and JD McDonough. We thought we were going to get split up. They did not. They all stayed on Raw. The interesting thing about this was the fact that Rhea wasn't mentioned at all.
Yeah.
The unit was literally just Dirty Dom, Finn Balor, and JD. So I think there will be a split up, just not in the way that we envisioned. Naomi, we thought was going to get drafted to Raw. She stayed on SmackDown. Ilya Dragunov, I have an apology to make. I kept on emphatically saying that Ilya was going to go to SmackDown. I thought it was a red herring that they introduced him on Raw. Of course, he's going to Raw. So that was still effectively a call-up. We got a point for that in the bonus stakes. But still, apologies. Could have been 2 points. I called this team the Karens. And I'm going to give this half a point because we actually thought this was a better idea that Chelsea Green became the one free agent and was just going to be the bane of both brands' lives, but thought that Chelsea Green was going to stay, was going to a brand, but thought was ultimately going to land on Raw. They did do that. SmackDown have grabbed both of them. So it's technically half a point, verging on the side of a big fat 0. The New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston we thought that they were going to SmackDown. They stayed on Raw. We are running out of stuff. Pretty Deadly, who need to be used a lot more than they actually are right now because they're incredible personalities. We predicted that they were going to stay on SmackDown, and indeed, they stayed on SmackDown. Next one was a person we successfully predicted was going to get called up, but didn't go to the brand we thought. We thought she was going to go to SmackDown. She's actually going to debut on Raw. So we got a point for that, but not where she landed. The Way, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, we thought were going to stay this is the bizarre thing. We kept making a thing saying we can't split up couples. And yet somehow we split up a married couple. Because Ciampa and Gargano, we put on an entirely different brand than Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell.
But then they got drafted together.
They all got drafted together anyway, because of course they did. Because somehow we did this oversight where we split up a married couple, even though we said we won't do that. But anyway, they're going to SmackDown. We pretty much got a. I'm getting confusing now. Sorry, I'm just trying to. There we go. Yeah, so we got that. We predicted that they were going to go to SmackDown. It's DIY we thought was going to stay on Raw. So the Final Testament, we thought we were all going to go to NXT. They didn't. They've gone to Raw. No,
because why not?
Just
yeah.
Why not?
They need to go to NXT, Dane. Harry, I don't know why.
No, I agree. They should have gone to NXT, but it is what it is.
We've got a big old nothing because we split up the married couple. DIY are also going to SmackDown. Bronson Reed is staying on Raw. We thought he was going to move to SmackDown. Blair Davenport got called up. We got a bonus point for that because we thought she was going to go to
Raw, but she went to SmackDown.
She went to SmackDown. Do you know what? Fine. It's a good place to have her. She's going to do amazing stuff if they use her well. That was it for Raw. This is the supplementals. So Diamond Mine, Creed Brothers and Ivy Nile, who we thought was actually going to join up with Gable. They stayed on Raw. We got a point for that. Giovanni Vinci, who we thought was going to be a free agent simply because we did not know.
Well, the nice thing is he goes to SmackDown and he can do the good old.
Oh God, yeah.
He can do his pretty Italian model stick again.
Or they just simply don't use them, considering who the very last draft pick is. We will get there. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate go to SmackDown. We managed to successfully... No, they go to Raw. We managed... I keep looking at the current brand, and I keep mistaking it as the drafted brand. I apologize for that. We thought they were going to go to Raw, and they did. So we got a point for that. Tegan Knox, who we had no clue. Honest to God. Again, like Giovanni...
Raw.
I love Nick. Honest to God, I love Nixon Newell. I really, really do, and it really hurts me that because of where she is and her position in there, we simply had no idea. So obviously we got nothing for that. She ended up landing on Raw. We thought she was going to go to SmackDown. Oh no, she's on Raw. Right. She's being drafted to SmackDown.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I got it confused again. Dijak!
Yay!
Again. I need to apologize to you. You were absolutely right. He did get called up. We got a bonus point for that, but the wrong brand. The Party Girls, Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. They're currently on SmackDown. We thought they were going to stay on SmackDown. They're being drafted to Raw because that's where all the tag team division and the ladies are going, apart from the Way. Natalia thought we thought she was going to go to NXT. She's not. She's staying on Raw. And then everybody, buckle up, because the hottest free agent ever, so much so that he's now entered a second year. He's not even a free agent because he was drafted somewhere. I'm talking about Omos. He's entered the second year of free agency. I digress. Odyssey Jones. This has got to be a joke. This has got to be a joke.
It's like, where have you been? I don't know. I haven't been here for a year. Would you like to go back to the same brand you were on? All right.
And they even spelled his name wrong on the graphic.
They spelled his name wrong. I could not remember for the life of me where he was. I could not remember for the life of me which brand he was on. So I put a series of exclamation marks and question marks over where his current draft is. Apparently he's being moved to Raw. He may have already stayed on Raw. And I put unpredicted because we couldn't predict it. Because you know what, everybody? You know what? We forgot who Odyssey Jones was. Because he wasn't used. He was drafted. He didn't wrestle anywhere. And now he's been drafted to the place he still wasn't wrestling in.
Wrestling. On.
So now,
that's it. So the biggest thing we've got to take away here is obviously the Roman Reigns of it all. What's going to go on there? It fuels the Bloodline storyline incredibly well because we don't know what's going to happen there with him. All we've got is speculation and intrigue, and oh my God, they keep hiring the Tongans. That's great. Also, let's not be said that Omos is so incredible that he has managed to become a free agent twice. Twice, everybody. See you next Battle Royal, Omos.
So at the end of the month.
He is last. Both him and MVP are under the free agents roster. Along with Logan Paul, who again can just go anywhere he likes. Anywhere he likes. But yeah. Omos, everybody. You did it, boy! The boyhood dream has come true.
So let's break it down. How many did we actually get right?
Right. So I'm going to count it all. I think there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half, 11 and a half, 12 and a half, 13 and a half, 14 and a half, 15 and a half, 16 and a half, 17 and a half, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22 and a half. We got bonus points out. This is out of actual successful draft picks. Throw in the extra bonus points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 28 and a half was our points. 22.5 technically is what we got out
And
of 55 draft picks.
So it's about the 30% range, 35.
Probably more than that.
It's ahead. You did say that if we got 30%, that was pretty much a win in our books.
Yeah.
Yes. Success. We'll do it again next year.
Woo!
And also,
Yeah.
I need a drink of water now.
Oh my god.
Right. We are just about to come to the end of this show. Last but not least, WrestleMania's been announced. It is happening in Las Vegas next year on the 19th and 20th, I believe, of April, which is, I believe, Easter weekend of next year.
Yep.
I will double check. Yes, it is. And it's also happening during a convention.
Again.
Great. I enjoyed not having to worry about watching things at 2 a.m. at a convention, but
Find a corner and just sit and just like go into the party every now and then.
it's like
At least it'll be on Netflix. So
There is
This
that.
is
You
true.
can take it wherever you
that
want.
is true. That is true.
yeah.
But still, it's kind of like
Also,
it's diverting energies at two different things. So if you've been busy dancing the night away, and then at 12, and then at 1 a.m. going, gotta go watch that Mania shit into your hotel room, or just by the bar with a gin and tonic and just going with your hand on the phone.
I was gonna say, or your iPad or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh
I don't
god.
have to make it so complicated,
I
Maddie.
know.
Why? I'm asking you specifically, why do they have to make it complicated?
I mean, he's probably not
Beats
going to
me.
be
I'm
there.
not
So
going to Cockaro.
I was going to say he's fine. It's us
There
who's
we-
like, oh god.
There we go. Maybe Matty and Jeremy will have to hold the fort for us that weekend.
Yeah, exactly. It's on you.
I miss Jeremy.
Oh,
I miss working with Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yes, we do need to do an AEW update in due course soon, so we will definitely try and get something sorted out. But yes, that is coming to the end of today's show. Thank you so much for watching and joining and listening. And Filoni has confirmed Jeremy is alive. We know that. We know that. We just miss him.
He's
We
just very
appreciate
busy.
he's very
Very
busy.
busy.
We appreciate he's a very busy boy at the moment.
We poked him with a stick and everything. You know, it's yep, Jeremy. Wakey.
Jeremy's probably away, and you've just poked him. He's just going, all right.
You're right there, big guy.
We love Jeremy. Love him. Anyway,
Oh, man.
so we will be back. We try to do like at least a stream or a video weekly. So hopefully next week we'll have something in the pipeline. It might be more WWE 2K24 fun. It might be something else. There'll be something wrestling related coming up on the streams. So to do that and to be informed when we go live next, hit the follow button on Twitch. It's completely free to do so. And if you're watching this on YouTube and if you enjoy the content, hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button as well. So you get fresh BunkaMania into your feeds as soon as it goes live. And if you'd like to take us on the go, you can also listen to the audio podcasts. They are available from all good podcast platforms of choice: Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify. If it's a podcast platform, chances are BunkaMania is there. So, and before we go, we all have our own forms of content, and there's plenty on the plate coming up. So let's start off with Harriet. Shall
Right. Okay. So every week at the moment on my YouTube channel, I'm reacting to Monday Night War from Parts 1 Wrestle Talk. New video hopefully should be up tomorrow because I'm recording it pretty much this afternoon, getting it ready. And then on Twitch every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. I should promote the channels in a minute, but I'm finishing off Princess Peach Showtime hopefully this week, so I'll probably start at 7:30, so it's a bit more time to play. YouTube, you can find me youtube.com/MangaGirl232, on Twitch Harriet_MangaGirl, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at MangaGirl232. I always post when I upload my videos, when my schedule is. Pretty much follow me on there. You'll know what I'm going to do from week to week.
Terrific. And Matty.
You can mostly find me next week at Ian's house going through his DVD collection and wondering why Morbius isn't there. Also, you can find me on Twitter under X. No, you can find me X under Twitter under MattyBoo tweets. You can also find me on Threads and Instagram. These two are just laughing and sniggering hysterically right now. You can also find me on Threads and Instagram under MattyBoo Super. And you can also find me on Twitch, where I am a weekend streamer, mostly moving my stuff down to a Sunday morning thing at the moment, where I flip between video games and reaction streams. And other than that, well, I also have this to say. Stitch, I do know formula. I was bred up on the bottle. I know formula very well. Very well. It's also how I found out that I'm lactose intolerant. Anyway.
That face.
I think my life is different now.
Where can they find you, Ian?
You can find me on Twitch at the Dekker Dane, all one word. I stream Mondays in the evening from about 8 o'clock. We're currently enjoying the Giant Wheel of Fortune game without a wheel, but instead of giant keyboard. That's all clued up. And also watching Des O'Connor interrogate members of the British public with Take Your Pick. So we've got a string tomorrow night, and then I'm going to be off the following Monday because it's going to be my birthday next weekend. But there might be some fun happening on my actual birthday next Sunday on Twitch. So keep an eye out on socials. You can follow me at Dekker Dane on X. And yeah, those are the two main channels for me. Right. With that said, we are going to now enjoy the rest of this lovely bank holiday weekend. I hope you enjoy the rest of the bank holiday weekend as well. We'll be back soon for more BunkaMania Wrestling action in the coming days. But until then, we will say au revoir and simply mon Dieu. It's only just two, everyone. It's only just two.
As Phelps just said, apparently Ian only has 2 copies of Morbius. We will fix that.
That's
only 2.
No. That's a lie. I have no copies of Morbius, but I think I have maybe 6 copies of Casino Royale. And on that bombshell, goodbye.